LA's ambitious new train system was supposed to be a game changer. With billions poured into its development, it promised faster commutes, cleaner air, and a modern transit experience. But recent revelations paint a grim picture. Mismanagement, technical setbacks, and political infighting threaten to derail the entire project. Is this the end of LA's transit transformation, or just a bump in the tracks? Join us on Great Trainspeed as we dig into the drama, the decisions, and the future of this high-stakes infrastructure gamble. The idea for the APM started in the early 2000s when officials realized LAX's internal traffic had become a nightmare. Surveys ranked it among the least convenient major airports in the US, and shuttle rides between terminals could take up to 15 minutes. By 2018, the Los Angeles City Council approved the project under a public-private partnership using the Federal FAST Act. The idea was simple. They let a single team handle the entire job, including design, build, and run, so accountability would be clear. Lynx brought in global players with Bechtel for infrastructure, Fluor for engineering, and Itochu from Japan for financing and logistics. Technically, the APM is impressive. It will use 8 trains, each with 3 cars, traveling on twin guideways at speeds up to 35 miles per hour. 10 stations will feature elevators, digital displays, and accessibility for everyone. The trains use Bombardier Innovia technology with 0 emissions, in line with California's clean energy goals. The APM connects directly to the LAX Metro Transit Center, which opened in 2024, linking passengers to the regional bus and rail network. This center is vital in a city still dominated by cars. At first, the deal looked like a success story in the making, but that vision soon collided with the real world of deadlines, regulations, and disagreements. No big project is ever smooth, and LAX's new train proved it. Lynx was supposed to manage everything under a design-build contract meant to prevent endless changes. But instead of streamlining the process, it created tension. With crews working around a 24-hour airport and strict safety limits, progress slowed sharply. Productivity fell, deadlines slipped, and tensions deepened. In 2024, Fitch Ratings downgraded the project's credit status, citing prolonged dispute resolution and uncertainty regarding timely completion. At the center of the fight was leverage. The grand jury accused Lynx of using the legal process as pressure, hinting that drawn-out lawsuits could stall the entire airport. Facing global deadlines like the 2026 World Cup and 2028 Olympics, LAWA chose compromise over courtroom battles. The result was a global settlement in late 2023 that the city would pay $550 million to resolve all disputes, and Lynx agreed to finish construction by December 2025 with full service by early 2026. Still, Ackerman admitted that even this deal was fragile, and backup shuttles remained part of the plan. These struggles aren't unique. Experts like Bent Flyvbjerg call it the iron law of megaprojects. They run over time, over budget, and under expectation. The LAX case shows that even innovative funding models like P3s can create imbalance and give private companies too much leverage when public agencies are desperate to deliver. Despite the drama, the project's finances have stayed surprisingly stable. The $1.9 billion base covered core construction, including the concrete guideways, electric systems, and train sets. Most of the added costs came from redesigns needed to meet environmental or safety standards, like adapting to local bird flight paths or strengthening supports for earthquakes. The $550 million settlement more to the total contract. Still, Fitch warned that rising costs could hurt the city's broader modernization program. Higher borrowing rates could affect runway upgrades and other airport projects. Yet supporters argue that the long-term gains will outweigh the pain. Over 30 years, the automated system is expected to cut operating costs by 40% compared with diesel buses. It will also reduce ground transport emissions by half, helping Los Angeles meet its 2050 carbon neutral goal. During major events like the World Cup, the APM could support 500,000 visitors, generating up to billions in local spending, since this is one of the biggest and most attractive events all over the world. The hope is that once the system is up and running, today's financial worries will fade into the background of a cleaner, faster airport experience. To understand LAX's project, it helps to look abroad at how other airports handled similar challenges. In Atlanta, the 1.5-mile SkyTrain opened in 2010, linking airport terminals with the region's rail network. Built for $600 million, it was delivered on time and under budget. Rather than a full P3, the project leaned on clear communication and standing dispute resolution forums to keep work moving. Today, the electric driverless system runs 24/7 and provides free rides to an estimated 5+ million passengers each year. Miami International Airport's MIA Mover broke ground on March 2, 2009, and opened in 2011. The automated People Mover costs an estimated $259 million and uses Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Crystal Mover vehicles. Delivered via a design-build contract, the project was funded by the Miami-Dade Aviation Department's Capital Improvement Program and the Florida Department of Transportation, with a projected 48,000 daily riders by 2020. These global cases show both promise and warning. Automated people movers save energy, improve passenger flow, and create long-term value, but they depend on trust, transparency, and coordination. If Los Angeles can apply those lessons, its troubled project may still end as a success story. So, after all these numbers and challenges, can Los Angeles still deliver a system that works as promised? Drop 1 if you think yes, and 0 if you believe it's easier said than done. As of late 2025, about 96% of the guideway is complete. Train testing is expected to begin in early 2026. Meanwhile, LAWA plans to use electric shuttles as a backup during the World Cup, ensuring smooth passenger flow. Beyond construction, the project's legacy may lie in how it reshapes urban mobility. The APM supports contactless boarding, purified air systems, and other post-pandemic features that make travel safer and faster. It could also create several permanent jobs, particularly in maintenance and tech support, benefiting nearby neighborhoods like Inglewood and South LA. However, deeper questions remain. The APM highlights both the potential and the pitfalls of public-private partnerships. Future projects may include new rules to avoid similar conflicts. Public reaction to the latest delay of the LAX automated people mover reveals a deep mix of frustration, skepticism, and fatigue. Many online commenters expressed disbelief that a project so visibly near completion could still face repeated setbacks. One exasperated user wrote, "So frustrating," while another expanded on the sentiment, "The stations and guideway look nearly done, yet updates rarely include clear reasons for delays." To them, the problem isn't just the missed deadlines, it's the lack of transparency. "It would be nice if we got more information," they said, echoing a wider sense that the public deserves clearer communication from the agencies involved. Others were harsher, calling the situation extremely pathetic and suggesting that everyone responsible should be ashamed of themselves. Yet not all voices agreed on where the blame lies. One commenter defended the construction workers, arguing that the workers did great. The managers and leaders, not so much. While another countered that if the project is stuck at 95% completion due to structural or design errors, then maybe the workers didn't do great either. Some added a note of cynicism, recalling a time when companies were penalized for failing to meet contractual deadlines. "I didn't know they could just refuse the design and charge extra for a design they like," one wrote, summarizing a common suspicion that accountability has eroded. Altogether, the discussion paints a vivid picture of public impatience and eroding trust. After years of promises, the LAX People Mover has become, for many, a symbol of bureaucratic opacity and managerial missteps. Yet beneath the anger, one thread remains clear. People still care deeply about the project's success, and that may be the very reason the disappointment runs so high. That's a wrap for today. We loved putting this together. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.